Okay, good morning, everybody. You're in First Appearance Magistrate Court. My name is Judge Kim Teresa Malika. Today you're going to be informed of the charges and we're going to determine if there's probable cause. Today is not your trial day. Please do not talk about the facts of your case. Everything is being recorded. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can and will be used against you. You also have a right to an attorney. We have Mr. Romero at the main jail and we have Mr. Reedy to my right over here in the main courtroom. Do you know who's going to be filling in for you today?
As soon as Mr. Goldberg can get here, he's gonna relieve me so I can go home
Okay,
and go back to bed where I belong.
okay, all right, I hope you feel better.
I hope so too. Couldn't feel much worse.
Yeah. If you have a private attorney, please let me know when you step up to the podium. We have an attorney, Mr. Brody here? Miss Brody, I'm sorry.
That's okay, good morning.
How are you, Jacqueline?
How are you?
Fine, thanks. Sorry about that. I thought it was another one, B-R-O-D-Y.
That's okay, Judge.
Okay.
Jacqueline Brady on behalf of Ethan Rohrberg. I'm standing in for David Bogenschutz. He is
Okay.
out at a doctor's appointment this morning, Judge.
Okay.
I believe it's on page 16 of your docket.
I have it, actually.
Okay.
He's approaching, Judge. That's your attorney.
All right, Mr. Rohrberg, you have trafficking in methamphetamine, $100,000 bond, possession of THC, $1,000 bond, possession of buprenorphine, $1,000 bond, possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, $100 bond. You do have 2 traffic infractions that aren't for magistrate, which is just to disobey or avoid a traffic device and license not carried. Court does find probable cause unless I hear an objection. What say you, defense?
Judge, we're asking that the court set a reasonable bond in this case. Mr. Rohrberg has been a resident of Broward County for the last 5 years. He has a successful catering business. In fact, he has 2 jobs that are outstanding as we speak that he intends to complete upon his release. His family does live in Connecticut and he does speak with them. However, his residence has been here in Broward County. He has no reason to leave the jurisdiction. He does intend to stay because of his business. This is where he has lived and maintained a residence for now some significant amount of time. He has animals here. His life is here. So we're asking that the court set a reasonable bond in this case and allow him to go so that he's able to complete the rest of his business that he needs to take care of.
Okay, state.
Your Honor, I would ask the court when setting bond to also take into consideration if convicted of this charge, Mr. Rohrberg faces a 7-year minimum mandatory prison sentence. I would also note the amount of methamphetamine that was allegedly found. It wasn't just over the 28-gram threshold. They allegedly found just over 63 grams of methamphetamine in his possession.
Okay. So what are you requesting as far as bond?
Judge, we would be asking, at least on the first count, the trafficking of methamphetamine, a bond of $25,000. His family has already prepared and contacted 24-hour bail bonds to be ready to post the bond at that time. As to the second count, the possession of THC, I believe the court, and as well as the possession of buprenorphine, I believe the court mentioned it was a $1,000 bond. That's not an issue, Judge. It's mostly the trafficking methamphetamine. His family is who will be responsible for paying that, and obviously in coordinating with the bail bondsman, and it is a significant bond. It's unfortunately financially difficult for them to post something of that sort. So we would be asking for a $25,000 bond on the trafficking of the methamphetamine, the $1,000 bonds on the possession of THC and the possession of buprenorphine, along with the possession of cannabis. The $100 bond is not so much the issue, Judge.
I understand. Sir, where do you live? 867 Tivoli Circle, 207 Deerfield?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
I'm going on 2.5 years.
Because it says 1 month
One.
on the booking
No, I just
sheet. Okay.
I believe he was explaining, I believe it cut out for a moment, the microphone there.
Oh, sorry. I just re-signed my lease. I went month to month, and I re-signed the lease last month.
Okay, anything further, State?
Your Honor, just noting, I believe that there are certain financial means. His counsel advised, I believe he owns 2 businesses. Your Honor, also just noting, in addition to the drugs, they found a scale. It does, there is reason to believe that there could be a drug dealing going on here. So I would ask that the court keep the bond at $100,000.
All right, GPS open schedule, 75,000 on 1. And then on counts 2, 3, and 4, you want me to do $1 or ROR?
ROR, Judge, if you would.
Okay, I'll do ROR on 2, 3, and 4. And 5 and 6 I don't have to do. Thank you very much, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. Have
He
a
has
good
to
day.
post the bond before they'll fit him with the GPS.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. Thank you. All right. Ronaldo Castro Ortego. Good morning, sir. You have an out-of-state hold out of Texas. Court does find probable cause. You're going to be held no bond. We'll see you in extradition court Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Thank you. Victor Fleming, please.
While they're calling up, Your Honor, and I know you normally don't like this. So there's a couple co-defendants I was hoping we could call early. The reason being, if there's any issues, the detective work all night.
All right, so give me the names.
Coley and Altador.
What is it?
Coley and Altador. They should be back to back.
Where are they?
I'm getting that right now.
Towards the end?
No, I think they're probably towards the middle page. The pages 14 and 15.
No problem.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate that.
Who are you calling, Judge?
Coley and Altador.
Okay, what pages are they?
14 and 15.
Want to call them together, or it's a mail?
You know, Your Honor, it might go fast if we just go one at a time.
Okay, who is this? Herman Lee Coley?
That's who
This is Mr. Herman Coley on page 14 of the docket.
Okay, Mr. Coley, you have possession of MDMA, $1,000 bond, count 2. Trafficking in heroin, $75,000. Possession of alprazolam Xanax, $1,000. Possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, $100. Operating without a valid DL, $25. 6, 7, and 8 are not for magistrate. One's parking in a handicap zone. And then you have an out-of-county hold for a misdemeanor and felony. That is out of Brevard and Seminole County. Brevard is a no valid, no DL. And Seminole County is failure to appear for docket sounding, felony retail theft, driving while license is suspended or revoked. And that's the misdemeanor is a $500 bond. The out-of-county hold for the failure to appear for the felony is a no bond hold. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, the $75,000 specifically on count 2 is something that Mr. Coley advised me he's not going to be able to afford. He's young. He's 21 years old. He's been in South Florida almost his whole life. He's currently employed. He works in landscaping, Judge. He's been doing that for the past 6 months. His wages vary depending on the weather. He can make about $100 on an average a day. He lives in Pompano Beach. He's basically renting a room. I believe the rent is about $950 per month. He pays about $250 renting the room. He has family that live here in Broward County. Is going to be reaching out to his mom, his sister. Unfortunately, his mother right now is not working. His sister is working. She's a caretaker. His financial resources, Judge, from what he advised me, he has no money in the bank, no sort of assets, no sort of property. Doesn't own a vehicle, Judge. So as you can see from his financial resources, he's not gonna be able to post a $75,000 bond. We're gonna be asking for a bond reduction on count 2 from $75,000 to $25,000, Judge.
State, what's his priors?
Checking that right now, Your Honor. While I'm checking, Your Honor, obviously we note that count 2, if convicted, carries a 3-year minimum mandatory prison sentence. It is some concern that he appears he's got warrants for failing to appear at 2 different counties. Let's see. Yeah, I know. Looks like he was put on a year's probation in May of this year for obstructing law enforcement out of the state of Georgia. And then the cases that make up the out-of-county holds, Judge.
All right. Anything further?
No, Judge.
Nothing from the defense at this time, Judge.
All right, so court will do $1 on 1, 50,000 on 2, $1 on 3, $1 on 4, $1 on 5. GPS open schedule, no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Brian Altador, page 15.
He's right here.
Is that page 15, State?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Altador, you have possession of a weapon or ammo by a convicted Florida felon. Need to talk about bond. Count 2 is possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, $100 bond. Count 3 is possession of alprazolam, Xanax, $1,000 bond. Count 4 is trafficking in heroin between 4 and 14 grams, $75,000 bond. And count 5 is possession of MDMA, which is also known as ecstasy, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. What say you, State, on count 1?
Your Honor, I'd be requesting, in light of the other bonds, a $5,000 bond on count 1.
Okay. Defense?
Judge, and speaking of Mr. Altador, he's 23 years old, been here in Florida his whole entire life, Judge. Right now, he's looking for stable employment. What he does on the side is he does construction. Basically, that fluctuates anywhere from about $60 a day to $100 a day. He lives in Pompano Beach. His brother's helping him out, allowing him to stay there rent-free while he tries to find stable employment. He's been there for about 5 months. His brother is employed. He works at a factory. That's who he's going to be reaching out to help post his monetary bond. Mr. Altador, he also owns no property. He has no money in the bank. Judge, I'm going to be asking for a bond reduction on count 4 from $75,000 to $10,000, and I'm going to ask the court to consider setting a bond on count 1 of $1,000.
Your Honor, I apologize. I meant to advise the court earlier. He does have a criminal history. 2017, resisting with violence. 2016, possession of heroin. 2015, resisting without violence. 2014, possession of cocaine. He violated probation. 2013, carrying concealed weapon. End of record, Judge.
Okay, court's gonna do $2,500 on 1, $1 on 2, $1 on 3, 50,000 on 4, 1,000 on 5, GPS open schedule. Obviously, he can't possess any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is Victor Fleming.
Is here present, Judge?
Okay, good morning, Mr. Fleming. You have counts 1 through 4 are county sentence, not for magistrate. I don't know when that's up. And then you have 2 out-of-state holds for a felony out of Texas, credit card or debit card abuse on each count. Court finds probable cause. We'll see you if we have it in extradition court on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is Denise Chrysler.
It's a medical reset, Your Honor.
What page is she?
3.
And where is she? North Broward? Thank you.
Was it? Oh, yeah, okay. Could you check the SO pic? I wanna know how many times she's been
Onika Stefan, there's one here.
Stephanie, President Judge, I may come on up, ma'am?
You're welcome. Okay, Ms. Stefan, you have resisting an officer obstructing without violence, $100 bond. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, my understanding, and speaking with Stefan, she has a clean record. She's a registered voter. She attended Sunrise High School. Right now, she's been here her whole entire life looking for work. She's interested in fighting these allegations. She's adamant that basically.
So what are you
she's
asking
innocent.
for? Tell me what you're
An
asking for.
outright ROR, Judge.
Sir, mailing address 1812 Northwest 9th Ave, Fort Lauderdale?
Is that your mailing address, ma'am? That is correct, ma'am. Judge.
Okay. Any objection to an ROR?
No, Judge.
Okay, ROR per state and defense. Thank
You'll
you.
be getting a notice in the mail about 3 weeks.
Linda Wright?
Linda Wright. Which facility is she in? On page 3, Miss Wright, where's she at? She's en route, Judge, to North Broward.
Okay, North Broward. North Broward. Belinda Wright is supposedly on her way to you. When you get her, let me know, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Zaria Canoe.
Miss Canoe, come on up, please. She's here at Maine.
And then we have Jacon Walker. I'd like to do that one. What page is that? Does anybody know? And Kendra Carpenter is next. So we need Jacon
I
Walker.
think he's towards the end of the document.
I have him right here. Okay, Zaria Canoe.
She's here, President Judge, at Maine.
Ma'am, you have, and then after her, we're gonna do Jacon Walker and Kendra Carpenter. All right, Ms. Canoe, you have robbery, no firearm or weapon. We need to talk about bond. Count 2 is touch or strike battery, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Court is going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, and I want everybody to listen up in the jail. No victim contact, direct or indirect, means no contact in person, no calling, no texting, no writing, nothing on social media whatsoever, and no contact through third parties. That means no passing messages from you to someone else to pass along to the alleged victim. I'm also going to order no return to the McDonald's at 5530 South State Road 7, Hollywood, Florida. If you go back there, you'll be arrested. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
All right, what say you, State, on count 1, and the court does find probable cause?
Your Honor, I'd be requesting a $7,500 bond on count 1.
What's their prior, State?
On Ms. Canoe, I do not see any priors.
All right, what say you, defense?
Judge, in speaking Ms. Canoe, as you heard from the state, this is her first contact with the criminal justice system. She's 22 years old. She's been here her whole entire life. At this time, unfortunately, she is homeless. Basically, my understanding is her family is going through a rough time right now financially, and now she's forced to be homeless. She is working, though. She works at a place called Sean and Nick's Courtyard Cafe, which is located in Sunrise, Florida.
Thank you. Go ahead.
She's been working there for 2 years. She's a chef there, making approximately $13 an hour. Now she does have family, like I said, that live here in Broward County. Her sister, her mom, but she's specifically going to be reaching out to her sister to help post her monetary bond. Her sister is working. She's a hairstylist, so financial resources are limited. Considering, Judge, as far as her lack of criminal priors, her strong ties to the community, Judge, I'm going to be asking for a $1,000 bond on count 1. Also, she does have a mailing address where she could receive mail to get future correspondence as far as when to appear for court. She's looking forward to fighting these allegations. She said she's adamant as far as her innocence, specifically on count 1, Judge.
Does she have a mailing address?
What's the mailing address?
499 Briarwood Circle. Holly.
And that's in Hollywood, Florida, Judge.
Does she have any place to live?
Yeah, temporarily I'm there. She's gonna let me leave the once I leave here, she's gonna let me come back.
Who is that, man?
My sister.
She said temporarily after she gets released, her sister's gonna allow her to stay with her, Judge.
Okay, anything
And
further,
your
State?
grandmother.
No, nothing further, Judge.
All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a $2,500 bond on count 1. Count 2, I'm gonna leave the $1,000 bond in place. No return to McDonald's, no victim contact. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Jaquan Walker.
Mr. Walker's here, Judge. If I could have one brief moment to speak to him.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge, for giving me that opportunity.
All right. So, Mr. Walker, you have robbery, no firearm or weapon. Need to talk about bond. Count 2 is touch or strike battery. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no return, sir, to the McDonald's, 5530 South State Road 7, Hollywood, Florida. No victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials JPM. What say you, State?
Your Honor, in light of the bonds you just set on Ms. Canoe, I'd ask that you set the same bonds for Mr.
What's his
Walker.
priors?
He does not have a criminal history.
So 2,500 and 1,000. Go ahead, Mr. Reedy.
I think Mr. Romero might have
I
more
mean,
information
Mr.
on it.
Romero, sorry.
Judge, I'm gonna ask you once again to consider a $1,000 bond on count 1 and 1,000 on 2. As you heard, as far as his lack of criminal prior, he works at Macy's. Been there for 7 months, the sales associate making about $9.50 an hour. He lives with his mother in Miami, they rent, and his mother works at a school cafeteria, so obviously, whatever financial resource they have goes towards rent. And that is why we're requesting 1,000 on 1, 1,000 on 2, Judge.
12220 Northwest 17th Place, Miami.
That
All
is
right,
correct.
25 on 1, 1,000 on 2, no return to McDonald's, no victim contact, direct or indirect. Thank you, sir. Keandra Carpenter, please.
Miss Carter's approaching, Judge. She's here at me.
Okay, Ms. Carpenter, you have same thing, robbery, no weapon, no firearm or weapon. Need to talk about bond. Count 2 is battery on an officer, firefighter, EMT. Count 3 is resisting an officer, obstructing without violence. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no return, ma'am, to the McDonald's located at 5530 South State Road 7, Hollywood, Florida, and no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim, James, with the initials, I should say, JPM. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right, what say you, defend, State?
Your Honor, she has no criminal history, so again, I think the bonds you set on the other two co-defendants were very reasonable. So
What about on count 2? The battery on a law enforcement officer.
Yes, Your Honor, on that count, I'd be asking for $1,500, $500 on 3, but the $2,500 bond on count 1 that you set on her co-defendants.
Okay. Go ahead, defense.
Judge, she's working at Citibank in their collections department. She just got that job about 8 months ago. She graduated from Miami Gardens High School, class of 2013. Judge, I'm going to be asking for, again, because of her for her clean record, $1,000 bond on count 1, $1,000 bond on count 2, and RO on count 3, Judge.
All right, 2,500 on 1, 1,500 on 2, and 500 on 3. Thank you. Good luck to you, ma'am. Maria McCutcheon.
No problem, Your Honor.
Thank you. Miss McCutcheon, good morning, ma'am. You have robbery with a weapon. We need to
Good
talk about
morning.
bond.
I want to
Hold
know
on,
if
ma'am.
there's,
Ma'am, we have, where's Mr. Reedy?
He's not very well.
All right, hold on one moment, okay?
yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll be back in a minute. Mr. Geller, are you here on a case? Good, how are you? You here on James State?
Stoked, correct.
Stote. All right, let's.
Judge, I'm standing in for Attorney David McGilligan. He asked me to be here on behalf of Mr. Stote.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Likewise.
All right, all right. Are you James Stote? Hit the button, sir.
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Okay, and I'm sorry, Mr. Geller, who are you here for?
I'm here on behalf of Attorney David McGilligan. For Mr. Stote.
Okay, so Mr. Stote, you have grand theft between $300 and $5,000, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is fraud, utter or false instrument, $1,000 bond. Count 3 is obtained property or communications over 300 by fraud, $750. Count 4 is a probation violation. You have a no bond hold. You are going before your division judge, Judge Judge Andrew Siegel, tomorrow at 8 a.m. You also have 2 grand thefts between $300 and $5,000. That's count 5 and $6,000 each. 7 and 8 are the same as count 2, $1,000 bond each, fraud, utter or false instrument. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victims in the case, with the initials CG, RA, MYB, and BM. And no return to the property located at 8970 North Lake Park Circle, Davie, Florida. If you go back there, sir, you'll be arrested. What say you, defense?
Judge, I just wanted to clarify, you said that he's set in front of Judge Siegel tomorrow?
Yes, that's for the no bond hold.
Okay, and will this court this morning consider reducing the bond on the other counts that are not the VOP, $200 each? Mr. Stote has a 2-week...
Whatever you want to argue, it's a first time hearing. Take
Certainly.
out the probation violation
understand,
and
Judge.
we're here as if,
Judge, we're not arguing probable cause. I would just point out to the court that Mr. Stote's been a member of the community for quite some time, and he has a 2-week-old baby. So if he were to be able to bond out or to resolve the VOP, I would ask that you reduce the bond on the other counts $200 each, so he would be able to get out, provide for the new baby, and
okay, what are you requesting as far as bonds?
$100 on each count, Judge.
Your Honor, if I may.
What's his priors? I know he has a probation
And Your Honor,
violation.
frankly, I think the bond should probably be increased. He's on probation for grand theft auto and unlawful use of criminal use of personal identification information. He was placed on probation just a couple weeks before this allegations began. Your Honor, additionally, in 2012 out of Dade County, he had an organized fraud in the first degree over $50,000 and 3 counts of grand theft.
Okay, any response?
Not at this time, Judge.
right, so this is what the court's gonna do on count 1, 1,000, count 2, 1,000, count 3, leave it at 750, count 5, 1,000, count 6, 1,000, 7 and 8, I'll set at $500 each.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, good luck to you, sir. You'll see Judge Siegel tomorrow. Nice seeing you, Mr. Geller. Maria McCutcheon?
No problem, Donna.
Oh, I forgot, Mr. Reedy. Okay, Mr. Romero,
Yes, Judge.
why don't you give Mr. Linder a call?
I will.
Thank you. Yes, no, is he there?
No, Judge, I was talking to people, I didn't see him.
All right, what about Lawrence Gardner?
Lawrence Gardner.
Oh, because this is a 10 case. Because I know Mr. Shate said anybody he has, he wants set on the afternoon docket. So this MO appears to be Fort Lauderdale. Let's see, while we're waiting for Mr. Goldberg. There's a 48, David Fillmore. We're gonna reset him to 1 o'clock.
Mr. Phil, what page was he on, so I can?
I have no idea. I'm just pulling it. Let me see.
Mr. Phil, let me try.
Pardon?
Yeah.
11?
Thank
9. 9, I'm sorry.
Oh, there's a state case attached to it as well.
Yeah, I know, but we're gonna do it at 1. Let me see if there's any others for Mr. Shade.
They're looking right now. Reset.
Yeah. Gerald White is Mr. McLawrence. We have, who was that? What about Julian Roberts? That's a Mr. Shade case.
Mr. Roberts is here. Is he gonna be reset?
Yeah, all of them.
Okay, Mr. Julian Roberts, he's here. So you're gonna be reset for this afternoon. No, it's the city public defense. It's a city charge. So he's gonna be here at 1 o'clock today. The judge is resetting.
Did I do Sean Carswell? Where is he?
Paul Ryan, Your Honor.
Sean Carswell is gonna be this afternoon as well, Paul Ryan.
Good afternoon, no problem.
Thank you. And then I think that's it for the David Fillmore, we did. Any Spanish interpreters that I can pull out, maybe?
Let me ask, Judge.
Trying to utilize our time.
Nobody at Maine, Judge, as far as I know, requires Spanish interpreter, and I just made an announcement.
Okay. Anybody at North Broward need a Spanish interpreter?
Good job.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody at Conti?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. We're waiting for the public defender to show up. North Broward, did you ever get Belinda right?
Yes, she's present.
All right, so when Mr. Goldberg comes in, we'll do her case.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there anybody there that you want to check on their bond, Mr. Romero? Oh, Mr. McLawrence, if you're ready on your cases, we're ready.
Judge, I just arrived. I just need to talk to Mr. Rice and Mr. Levy, so just in about 5 minutes.
Okay, I'll pull their cases, Rice and Levy.
Yes, Judge.
All right, let me know. Where is Mr. Levy? That's not one of the ones I gave you for a reset, is it? Levy? Levy, what page is he? Mr. McLawrence, you know?
He's on page 22, Judge.
Okay. I have it, Corey Lee. Okay. We're gonna have to wait on these two.
I just found out there's going to be a gentleman requiring a Spanish interpreter. His name is Mr. Carlos Santiago Medina. He is on page 19 of the docket.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, can you call for the interpreter? Do you have the number? God bless you. Thank you, Jackie. And here's your sheet if you want it. Thank you. Mr. Vargas.
Judge, please forgive the casual appearance. This is a bit unexpected, but Mr. Goldberg will actually be coming in to fully cover for Mr. Reedy. I'm just here in the
No
meantime.
problem at all. Glad you're here. All right, so the first person that I wanted to call, and we have a Spanish interpreter on the way, was Belinda Wright. She's at North Broward. She has a DUI. Hello, Miss Wright. How are you?
Fine, thankful.
All right, ma'am. You have a DUI, alcohol, or drugs first offense, $500 bond. Counts 2 and 3 are just traffic infractions, improper stop, and driving while license is suspended without knowledge. Court does find probable cause. Is your mailing address 2782 Northwest 20th Street, Apartment A, Fort Lauderdale?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. State, does she have any priors?
The only local prior I see, Your Honor, is very dated. It's not a DUI either.
All right. So, ma'am, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance.
Okay, thank you so
That
much.
means that you have to look for your court date in the mail. If you don't get
Okay.
it, it's your responsibility to contact the public defender, the clerk of court. You can go to any of the 4 courthouses in Broward County, Hollywood, Deerfield, Plantation, or the main one here. You can also go online and look it up, okay? But don't miss your
Okay.
court date, because they'll have a warrant out for your arrest. Good luck to you.
Oh, good, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day. Maria McCutcheon. Maria McCutcheon, please. Hello, Miss McCutcheon. You have robbery. Good morning. You have robbery with a weapon. Court does find probable cause.
Can I?
Hold on, ma'am. You have an attorney, Mr. Vargas, here. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim in the case with the initials YPL, and no return to City Trends, located at 1923 Northwest 9th Avenue, Fort Lauderdale. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What say you, State, with what are you requesting as far as bond? And then we'll hear from your attorney, ma'am.
Your Honor, I'm gonna
Hold
be
on, ma'am.
requesting a $25,000 bond. My concern is not just the allegations where she tried to steal from the store, and when the manager tried to stop her, she pulled a knife and threatened the manager. She was just arrested Saturday for a theft at a dollar store and
Ms.
pled the case
McCutcheon,
out.
relax. Don't say anything.
Pled the case out and was released on Sunday. I see she's had the following cases dismissed: a possession of cocaine in 2013, a burglary dwelling in 08, a possession of cocaine in 09. She has been convicted of uttering a forged instrument multiple times, possession of cocaine multiple times, grand theft, criminal mischief, carrying concealed weapon. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Defense?
Your Honor, just going through the notes.
You want an opportunity to talk to her just because we switched gears? Doesn't mean that you can't talk to her.
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Okay.
Ms. McCutcheon, I'm
All
gonna
right,
call you on the
ma'am,
phone.
hit the button in front of you so you can mute it. Then go to your left. The deputy will pick up the phone and give it to you. Mr. McLaurin, are you ready yet?
Yes, Judge.
All right, then you can come over with your orders. All right, so let's call Gerald Rice.
Here, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Rice, you have two attorneys there. Do you? All right, Mr. Wright, you have two attorneys, Mr. Romero's for the state cases, and Mr. McLawrence is representing the city of Fort Lauderdale, defending you on municipal ordinances. You have failure to register a vehicle, $25 bond, operating without a valid DL, no bond required, motorcycle eyewear without eye protection, tag unsecured, those last two were not for magistrate, capious misdemeanor, which is the MO case, that is for a trespass, $250 bond, and then the one for Mr. Romero next to you, we're back to him again, is operating without a valid license and unlawful license tag sticker attached, $250 bond on each one. You do have a court date tomorrow at 9 a.m., actually in Division MP, which I believe is Judge Jill Levy. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, Mr. Levy is just 21, Mr. Levy, excuse me. Mr. Rice is just 21 years old. He's homeless, Judge. He's unemployed. He told me he doesn't have any mental health issues, but he would like to resolve these cases. He also indicated to me that he would like to take advantage of the HCRC program.
Okay.
And that is my understanding on the state cases as well, Judge.
All right, so state, what are you offering? On count 1, 2, 6, and 7.
On 6 and 7, they'd be withholds on both counts. On 1, it'd be a withhold. On 2, it'd be an adjudication time served.
Okay?
He wishes to accept the state's.
All right, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth, sir?
Yes.
All right, your name is Gerald Rice, R-I-C-E?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. It's my understanding, sir, you want to resolve all your cases today?
Yes.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No.
Are you tired?
No.
Okay, because your eyes look like they're closing, maybe. Is he okay, Mr. McLawrence, for me to take this plea and Mr. Romero?
Let me talk to him, Judge.
Okay.
Judge, we just spoke to him. I believe he does understand what's going on. He wishes to proceed. I asked him if he needed any additional time, any questions for me. He said that wasn't necessary, but this time he's ready to proceed, Judge.
Okay. All right. So, sir, is anybody forcing you to do this?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No. Not. No.
Sir, I have to ask you a series of questions just to make sure that you're doing this freely and voluntarily, so bear with me, okay?
Yes.
All right. So, have you ever been treated for a mental illness?
No.
Are you satisfied with the advice of your attorneys, Mr. Romero and Mr. McLawrence?
Yes.
And you're giving up all your rights to a trial in all these cases, correct?
Yes.
All right. How do you wish to plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest to all the charges I just read?
No contest.
No contest. Court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file and finds probable cause for the plea in all cases on the failure to register a motor vehicle, withholding court costs of $293. I'm going to give 6 months to pay on all the court costs, and partial payments are accepted. On the operating without a valid DL, adjudication time served. On counts 3 and 4, the court's going to dismiss them since it's on my sheet. Count 5, court's gonna, which is the capious misdemeanor for 188064 MO 10A, withhold court costs are $78. Count 6 and 7 are both withholds of adjudication, and the court costs on count 6, which is the operating without a valid license, is $293 in court costs as well. Court takes judicial notice of time served in the Broward County Jail. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. You're done with these cases, sir, except for paying your $293. Good luck to you. Okay, how about Maria who's the other one for you?
Judge Corey Levy, he's on page 22 of the docket. He's here in the main jail.
All right, where's Mr. Levy?
He's here, Judge.
All right, Mr. Levy, you have, good morning, sir. You have 2 attorneys here today. Possession of heroin is a $1,000 bond. On the 2 capious misdemeanors, $250 bond. Actually, counts 2 through 5 are capious misdemeanors, $250 bond each. Total bond is $2,000. You do have a hearing tomorrow before Judge Jill Levy at 9 a.m. in front of, I guess she's away, so it would be in front of Judge Wren. On the capious misdemeanors, it's for possession of drug paraphernalia, trespass, and for the 2 MOs, it's trespass. What say you, defense?
Judge, considering he's gonna be going to court tomorrow morning, at this time, nothing to add from the defense, as far as the state cases.
Well, he's just going to court on the misdemeanor case, not the felony, just so you know. Okay, what say you, Mr. McLawrence?
Judge, he wants to have his day in court, so I don't have anything to add as far as reduction of bond or anything. He'd like to go in front of the judge.
Okay, that's
So,
fine. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, come on up, Madam Interpreter. Please let me know when you're here. You can just stand at the podium or tell me, okay?
Okay.
I don't want you sitting there too long. I know you're busy. Raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to translate from English to Spanish, Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I do. Alicia Stegmo.
All right, Carlos Santiago Medina. What page?
Ben, por favor. I have him. He was on page 19, Judge.
Okay, Madam Interpreter, page 19, so you can follow along. All right, Mr. Medina, you are charged with giving a false name on driver's license or ID application.
Señor Medina, se le acusa de dar un nombre falso o identificación falsa en la solicitud de licencia de conducir.
$1,000 bond.
$1,000 de fianza.
Count 2, forgery, alter, public records, certificates, etc., $1,000 bond.
Cargo número 2, fraudulentos certificados de la licencia.
Count 3 is perjury in an official proceeding, $1,000 bond.
Es falsificación en un proceso oficial, $1,000 de fianza.
State, let's talk about count 3.
Vamos a hablar del tercer cargo.
Maybe I'm missing something. Do you have any PC for that? Or is that because of, I don't understand.
One moment, Judge.
Un momento, su señoría.
Well, he's looking for that. Is your client's mailing address
La dirección de correo de su cliente
1190 West 56th Street,
es el 1190 Oeste 56 Calle,
Hialeah, Florida?
Hialeah, Florida?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Vargas, we're on Carlos Santiago Medina, page 19.
Your Honor, it should be perjury, not in an official proceeding, which is a misdemeanor.
Okay, so the bond should be,
I don't know what the standard bond is. Ma'am, you gotta.
all right, well, we don't have to worry.
Your Honor, I'm
No
gonna,
sé cuál es la fianza estándar.
I'll assume it's $100.
okay.
Voy a asumir que son $100.
That being said, Your Honor, I'm gonna ask the court to keep the total bond at $2,100.
Okay,
Quiero que la fianza total sea $2,100.
Frankly, we don't know who this is.
Francamente, no sabemos quién esta persona es.
The name he was booked under is not his identity,
El nombre que lo ficharon no era su identidad,
as documented in this report.
como documentado en este informe.
And I think for obvious reasons, I have concerns about his future appearance in court.
Y por obvias razones tengo preocupaciones por su comparecencia futura en el tribunal.
I can't advise the court anything about his history,
No puedo aconsejarle al tribunal nada de su historial,
because as I stated, I don't know who this is.
porque como declaré, no sé quién es esta.
it's an issue. What say you, Mr. Romero?
¿Qué dice usted, señor
The
Romero?
court does find probable cause. On count 3, though, the court notes it's perjury,
Es falsificación
not in
al
an official
cargo,
proceeding.
no en un proceso oficial.
So it's a misdemeanor.
Así que es un delito menor.
That's an M1?
Um,
Pretty sure it is.
I believe so, but I'm not
Okay.
certain.
Judge, in speaking with Mr. Santiago Medina, he already contacted his friend, I believe it was late last night,
Y él
will be
contactó a su
posting his monetary
amigo
bond.
para que ponga su fianza.
So nothing to add from the defense, Judge.
Quite frankly, I'm thinking about having his address verified and putting a GPS on him. Because we don't know who he is.
Quiero que verifiquen su dirección y que le pongan un monitor GPS porque no sabemos quién es.
So I'm gonna do a GPS open schedule.
Así
His
que voy a
address is gonna have to
hacer-
be verified.
Una GPS con horario abierto y su dirección tiene que ser verificada.
I'll do 1,000 on one,
Voy a
1,000
hacer
on two,
$1,000 por una, $1,000 por dos,
100 on three,
3 es 100.
unless you want an ROR of $1.
A no ser que quiera libertad bajo palabra de $1.
Well, Judge, I mean, he's from Puerto Rico, it's a U.S. territory.
Él es de Puerto Rico, es un
So
territorio
I don't know as far as the
americano.
identification,
Well, it doesn't
Why
matter
would
where
that be
he's
an
from.
issue?
I mean, in the United States, I mean, I know Puerto Rico, that, I'm not saying because he's from Puerto Rico.
No estoy
I don't
diciendo que es de
really know
Puerto
where he's
Rico.
from,
Es que
so
no sé de dónde es verdaderamente.
nobody knows his true identity.
Nadie sabe su identidad verídica.
And frankly, Your Honor, I understand Mr. Romero is representing what
Y
his
entiendo
client
que
is
el
advising.
abogado,
No, I
señor Romero,
understand
está
that. I'm not saying
representando lo que
Mr.
dice el
Romero
cliente.
is representing.
Entiende qué es lo que está representando el señor Romero.
I'm just saying that I think that
Estoy
information
diciendo que creo que esa información
has to be taken with a grain of salt considering the
tiene que
information.
tomarse levemente considerando lo que hizo.
Okay, anything further? That's my
Judge,
ruling,
I'm
thank
here to
you.
defend Judge Jackson.
I understand.
Entiendo.
Maria McCutcheon, is there any reason why? Are we going back to, Mr. Reedy, you're gonna have to talk to this lady. Maria McCutcheon at North Broward?
I believe Mr. Vargas called her, right?
I spoke to her, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, let's go back to her. Maria McCutcheon.
Yes.
All right, so they were asking for a $25,000 bond. I ordered no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim, YPL, no return to city trends, and no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. What say you, Mr. Vargas, with regard to bond? Thank you very much, Madam Interpreter, we're done.
Your Honor, hang on, Ms. McCutcheon. Your Honor, I did speak with Ms. McCutcheon. She's unable to post any bond, as I'm sure the state attorney can see and the court can confirm. She does have a quite extensive history. However, most, if not all, recent charges have been disposed of by Judge Porth. So this case is likely headed in that direction. And those cases were dismissed. So being that she is unable to post a monetary bond, she does have a number of children. We're going to be asking the court to consider having Ms. McCutcheon placed on pretrial release, any special conditions and level of supervision that would alleviate any concerns the court would have as to her appearance in pretrial conference. I don't know if there really is a long history of her failing to appear in court.
No, never. I show up at court.
Thank you, Ms. McCutcheon. Hang on.
Well, it's not just showing up in court, it's for the protection of the community. I mean, she went in to steal something, and when they locked the door,
Ms. McCutcheon,
Hold
don't say
on.
anything.
Yes, sir.
Judge,
she had a
I
knife
did-
on her and said, "Let me at her, I'm gonna stab you."
I know the allegations contained in the probable cause affidavit. Ms. McCutcheon would be willing to do pretrial release level 1.
Yes.
State?
And I certainly appreciate that. My concern is it's also that she was just out of custody for 24 to 36 hours before going to another store, and this time bringing a weapon.
Ms. McCutcheon, please don't say anything.
Say that again, State?
She was only out of custody 24 to 36 hours, and this time she brought a weapon with her.
I wasn't trying
Ms.
to steal.
McCutcheon, do not say anything right now, please. Just hang on.
Okay.
Court's gonna do a GPS level 2. I am gonna do a $2,500 bond. Thank you, good luck to you, ma'am.
I can't afford a bond, ma'am. I don't have.
Ma'am,
I
you'll
don't
have-
have
Ms.
any.
McCutcheon, somebody from
I
the
have-
public
I have
defender's
6
office will come out to
kids.
see you.
Huh?
Somebody from the public defender's office will come out to see you very soon.
Yeah, but is there any way that I could get release on
They'll
some-
speak.
some-
They will speak with you about that, Ms. McCutcheon.
Yeah, but I don't have any money. I have 6 kids at the house.
I understand that, Ms.
And
McCutcheon.
my youngest is 2. I could get. I would like to do get R&R something in pretrial on
Ms.
the
McCutcheon.
on the stream.
Ms.
All
McCutcheon,
right,
your
ma'am.
attorney will know
Ma'am,
what to
we're
do.
finished with the hearing. Thank you very much. Good luck to you. You can speak to your public defender. Have a good day.
What in the world has happened? What happened?
Melanie Rose.
No problem.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Rose, you have possession of heroin, ma'am. Possess and/or use drug paraphernalia. No bond required. Total $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Do you have a mailing address?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
954 Roe Deer Drive, Clarksville, Tennessee.
OROD.
ROE space DEER.
Oh, Roe Deer. Okay, drive.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And where is that?
It's in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Tennessee is TN.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what's the zip code, please?
37042.
All right, what say you, defense?
One second, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm gonna be asking for an ROR in the absence of any priors.
State, does she have priors?
She doesn't, Your Honor, but my concern is, as she just stated, I don't believe she has ties to the community.
All right, ma'am, where are you gonna live down here?
I'm gonna live with my husband. We're moving into a place. He started working down here just recently. Like about 2 months ago, he started working. He climbs cell phone towers, and that's why I'm down here. Is he brought me down here?
All right, I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance, but here's the thing. You don't
Yes,
show
ma'am.
up for court, you're probably gonna have a no bond hold warrant. So,
Yes.
your mail's gonna go to this 954 Roe Deer, 2 words, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Drive, Clarksville, Tennessee. And you can also check online, you can call the public defender, okay? You can go to the Broward Clerk of Court. Good luck to you, ma'am. Tedrick Jackson. Where's Tedrick Jackson, please?
He's here at Main, Judge.
All right, Mr. Jackson, attaching a registration license plate not assigned, no bond required. Count 2, driver presents non-current proof of insurance, $100 bond. And count 3 is a writ of arrest, $194. Signed by Judge Gunderson, June 21st, 2018. Actually, that's not for magistrate, you owed $194. What say you, defense?
Judge, Mr. Jackson on disability, we're gonna be asking the court to consider ROR on count 2.
State, any objection?
That's fine.
Okay, ROR per state and defense. Hold on a moment, let me verify his address. 7723 Tamashanta Road, North Lauderdale.
Correct.
All right, thank you, sir. Look for your court date. You'll see Judge Gunderson soon if you don't bond out. Samij Knowles. Oh, Mr. McLawrence, did you want a CRC order? You said someone wanted to go to the CRC.
Yes, I'll fill it out, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
For reminding me.
I know. Okay, are you Mr. Knowles, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you have trespassing, unoccupied structure or conveyance. Court does find probable cause. Sir, you can't return to 100 West Dania Beach Boulevard in Dania Beach. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what say you, defense?
Judge, in speaking to Mr. Knowles, he wishes to resolve this matter today.
State?
Your Honor, state's offer would be, one moment, I just want to check one thing.
Sir, if you go back to this address, the city hall, you'll be arrested. Does he need, a place to live? Have you talked about the HCRC with him?
No, I have not, Judge.
All right, why don't you do that while Mr. Linder?
No, I'm ready.
Okay,
Your Honor, the state's offer would be 5 days. Mr. Knowles has been before this division many times. This is his 6th arrest this year.
5 days.
Is this the first time he's been trespassed at this location?
I don't know, but 5 days Broward County Jail. He's been arrested 6 times this year alone. If he wants to go to the CRC, it would be 5 days as well. Welcome. want to pull up a chair next to Mr. Vargas.
Judge, let me talk to the judge. Judge, in speaking with Mr.
I'm listening, I'm copying.
Okay.
I'm
Judge,
listening,
in speaking
trust
with
me.
Mr. Knowles, I do understand from what the state said, he's been arrested about 6 times on trespassing offenses. He's advised me this was only the second time he sat at this location. He says he's not gonna go back. Would your honor consider extending an offer of 3 days' time served on Mr. Knowles' behalf, Judge?
No, 5. He's been arrested 6 times already. And if he wants to go to the CRC, he can go there too. Doesn't make a difference though with the 5 days. Ms. Patrice, can you give that to Sheila, please? Yes. No. If you could scan it, that would be great. Well, you might as well wait to see if we have more.
I'm not even logged in yet.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Then I'll have Michelle do it. What would you like to
Judge,
do?
at this time, he's wanting to accept the court's offer of 5 days.
Well, it's actually the
Broward County.
state's offer, not mine.
But I asked you and you said that was 5 days, so it's
Yeah.
both the state's and the court's offer.
Okay,
So he wishes to accept the 5 days, Judge. I told him he could contest it. He does not wish to do that, and he also wishes to have the benefit of attending the CRC program.
okay. All right, so Mr. Vargas, can you get Sheila, I think you have them over there, these orders for the CRC, they're pre-printed. If you don't, Jackie, can you get them one for the state? All right, sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
Okay. All right, here's the thing. Sheila, how many days does he have credit for time served? Just 1?
2.
So if I did 5 days, he'd be released on Friday?
And you want me to do the order?
Yeah, adjudication, 5 days. He's gonna go there on Friday, which is the 12th, at 9 a.m. All right. All right, sir, I'm sorry, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
Okay, your name, Samij Lamont Knowles, Knowles?
Samaj Lamont Knowles.
I'm sorry, sir, Samaj Lamont Knowles. Okay, sir, put your hand down. It's my understanding through your attorney, Mr. Romero, you want to resolve your case today? Give up all your rights to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No, ma'am.
All right, how do you want to plead to trespassing, unoccupied structure, or conveyance? Guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
Okay, and you feel that pleading no contest is in your best interest?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you want to go to the centralized receiving center? Friday, 9 a.m., okay? I'll make, because they do at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., I won't make you wait till 9 p.m. All right, so how do you want to plead? No contest, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file and finds probable cause for the plea. Adjudication, 5 days, Broward County Jail, with credit for time served. So he'll be released on 10/12/18 at 9 a.m. So he can go to the HCRC or the CRC, whatever you want to call it. And $293 in court costs, 6 months to pay, partial payments accepted, no return to the city hall, to the 100 East 100 West Dania Beach Boulevard, Dania Beach, Florida. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Okay, next one's gonna be Lawrence Gardner. Might as well wait, because I have a feeling.
No problem. I have another one.
Okay. Mr. Gardner, you have a Cape. Oh, it's an MO. Where is Mr. McLawrence? All right, you know what? We're gonna reset to 1 PM today. Mr. Gardner, we're gonna reset you to 1 PM. See you then. Joshua Nelson.
He's here, Judge, main judge.
Okay. All right, Mr. Nelson. And by the way, we have Mr. Adam Goldberg from the Public Defender's Office, who is,
Judge.
just for the record, good morning. All right, so we have possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, $100 bond. Count 2 is trespass, failure to leave property upon order by owner. No bond required. Court does find probable cause. Court is going to order no return, sir, to 7100 West McNabb Road, North Lauderdale. If you go back there, sir, you'll be arrested. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
What say you, defense?
Judge, in speaking with Nelson, he wishes to resolve this matter today.
Okay,
Would Your
state you
Honor
have an
please-
offer?
I do, Your Honor. The offer would be, withhold on 1, adjudication, time served on 2.
Withhold on the possession of cannabis, adjudication, time served, $308 in court costs. No return to the Chevron.
Judge, he wishes to accept the state charge.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, put your hand down. Is your name Joshua Cardine Nelson, Nelson?
Yep.
Yup or yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. It's my understanding, sir, through your attorney, Mr. Romero, you want to resolve your case and give up all your rights to a trial? You want to give up all your rights to a trial? Do you want a trial?
Yes.
The mic's on.
Oh, he got confused because he said he thought you were referring to Mr. Romero. Do I wish to give up my rights? So that's why.
No. Your attorney, Mr. Romero, has told me that you want to resolve your case today, which means you want to give up all your rights to a trial.
I actually want to change that to plead no contest and just
All right, so
don't go back to the.
so then you don't want a trial.
Yes, ma'am. I don't want a trial.
So that means you want to give up your rights to have a trial. Okay?
Yes.
You're not gonna have a trial, and you're gonna give up your right. The state's not gonna have to bring witnesses, okay? All right. Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No.
All right, how do you want to plead to possession of cannabis 20 grams or less? Trespass, failure to leave property order by owner, guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
Feel that pleading no contest is in your best interest?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've had enough of time to talk to your attorney standing next to you, Mr. Romero?
Correct.
All right, court's going to accept your plea, find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file and finds probable cause for the plea, withhold on one, which is the marijuana, and court costs of $308, 6 months to pay. Partial payments accepted. Count 2, the trespass adjudication time served. No return to the Chevron station. Court takes judicial notice of a time served in the Broward County Jail. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you. Was this the last one, or?
That was the last one you gave him.
Okay, where's Tedrick Jackson? Can I see his paperwork? I just need the top sheet. The wrong name was written on the CRC order.
All right, the gentleman who took the plea and to go to CRC was Samaj Jones. He got 5 days Broward County Jail to be followed by the CRC.
But did Tedrick Jackson want to go too? Did Tedrick Jackson want to go to the CRC?
Henry Jackson had a,
I need this order back on, it says Tedrick Jackson. No, no CRC.
Jackson is here, Judge.
he had a county center, he had a writ of arrest, Mr. Jackson did.
All right, so let's cross this out and do Knowles. There's one more order hanging out somewhere. Do you have the other one, Sheila, on Tedrick Jackson?
No, we never got one. We never got one. We only got one for Mr. Rice. It should be right in the
All right. Well, I made 2 copies, so are you sure you don't have it? Okay. It's right in here. I had to press OK. The copier had it. You know what? Can you give me a new order? Because I'm gonna have to redo this whole thing with the charge, the case number, and everything. The state. Does anybody know what page Mr. Knowles is on? Page 8.
I wrote his case number on there.
No, I know, but this is the one Mr. McLawrence did, so let me just, you sure this is the man that wanted to go, right?
Yes, ma'am, he got 5 days and
Okay.
he actually wasn't calculated because we wanted him out on Friday.
Okay, that's right, SAME. Whoops. Is that okay?
Y'all the case number there. I've written a case number on that.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
You want me to put, we can add it. What is it?
I gave it to you on that sheet that I gave you.
Well, it just went in the trash. 18, okay. You want me to write it in?
You can.
189790 MM10A. You want me to write it in that one, or are you gonna write it in for me?
I just wrote it right on the top.
Okay.
I'll give this one to,
Mark Gray. You Mr. Gray, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you for your patience. You have a capious misdemeanor. Driving while license is suspended, $500 bond. Court does find probable cause. You were no show at a hearing on January 2nd, 2017. Court finds probable cause for your arrest. What say you, defense?
Judge, I'm speaking to Mr. Gray. He wishes to resolve this matter today.
Okay, state you have an offer?
Withhold court costs.
Withhold court costs, and you need to explain to him about 3 driving while licenses suspended within 5 years, sir.
He wishes to accept the state's offer, Judge.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your name Mark Gray, Gray?
Yes.
Okay, it's my understanding through your attorney, Mr. Romero, you want to give up all your rights to a trial and admit to the charge today of driving while license is suspended?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No.
Okay, how do you want to plead to driving while license is suspended? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
No contest.
And you understand that if you get 3 driving while licenses suspended, it's within 5 years, sir. The Driver's License Bureau is going to revoke your license for 5 years as a habitual traffic offender. And if you're driving during that time and you're a habitual traffic offender, it's a felony. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Keeping that all in mind, do you still feel it's in your best interest to plead no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and I don't know where you are. This could be the 3rd one for you. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you still want to keep your plea, correct?
Yes.
All right, court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea, withhold of adjudication. Court costs $293, 6 months to pay. Partial payments accepted. Court takes judicial notice of a time that he served in the Broward County Jail. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you. John Gabler.
Yes, sir. How do you pronounce your last name, sir? Gabler. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. You have petty theft, 2nd degree, 2nd offense. Next time, sir, it's going to be a felony, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so, no return to the Freeze Mart located at 2050 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Court finds probable cause, bond set at 100. What say you, Mr. Romero?
Judge, it's me, Mr. Gabler. He wishes to resolve this matter today.
State,
Offer to be time served.
adjudication, time served, 293.
Your Honor, pretrial services. The client was placed on pretrial back on April 30th for a grand theft in case number 17005802 CF10A. And as a result of this court finding probable cause, we are asking that you revoke the pretrial in that case.
Okay, let me see it. All right,
One moment, Judge.
what'd you say on this? Adjudication, time served?
just so the court knows the defendant is in Texas. 'Cause, 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 'cause
Mr. Romero, he's in Veterans Court.
I understand that, and right now I'm letting Mr. Gabler know that considering he's out, he has a pending case in Veterans Court, I would advise him not to resolve this at this time. That's what I'm talking to him about.
All right, can he afford the $100 bond? What can he
Honestly,
afford?
Your Honor, when you were arrested, did you have anything with you?
I had nothing on me, Your Honor.
Judge, I understand he's out on free trial, and my understanding is, I believe this is, the petty theft, was over, I believe, 2 beers.
It's 2 cases,
Oh, 2 cases, well.
2 full cases of Heineken.
Judge, would you consider an ROR on his behalf?
Well, I'm gonna do something with the
Or place
grant.
him on pre-trial on this charge as well?
He is on pretrial and he went out and committed another offense. He's stealing beer.
Maybe, I believe he's probably on standard, what was the option, or what were the requirements? Does he have to, only call in twice a week and report once a month, Judge?
I don't think, I'm gonna do a monetary bond on that.
Then, Judge, I'd ask you to consider a $100 bond on the case that he's currently out on, and I'd ask you to reduce the bond on this case from $100 to $1.
All right, I'm gonna do a $1,000 bond on this grand theft. I'm gonna revoke his pretrial. He can pay $100 to a bondsman. And on this case, I'll leave the bond at $100. So it'll be $200 total. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Jamar Madison. Oh. I gave you the pretrial. Sorry, I always do that. There you go. Okay, Mr. Madison, you have a capious misdemeanor, driving while license is suspended, $500 bond, court finds probable cause. What say you?
Judge, in speaking to Mr. Madison earlier today, he also wishes to resolve this matter
State?
today.
Withhold court costs.
Withholding court costs, and did you explain to him about 3 driving while license is suspended within a 5-year period?
Judge, I did, and Mr. Madison wishes to accept the state's offer.
Okay, sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, put your hand down. Is your name Jamar Madison, Madison?
Yes.
It's my understanding through your attorney, Mr. Romero, you want to give up all your rights to a trial and resolve your case today?
Yes.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No.
How do you want to plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest to driving while license is suspended? Okay, you understand that if you get 3 driving while licenses suspended within a 5-year period, the driver's license bureau is going to suspend and revoke your license for 5 years as a habitual traffic offender. You understand that?
Understood.
All right, and I don't know if this is strike 3, so it could be. I mean, you would be in a better position to know that, sir. So keeping that in mind, you still want to keep your no contest plea to driving while license is suspended?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel it's in your best interest?
Yes.
All right, you've had enough of time to talk to your attorney, Mr. Romero?
Yes.
All right, court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea, withhold. Court costs $293, 6 months to pay. Partial payments accepted. Court takes judicial notice of the time that you served in the Broward County Jail. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you. Jordan Moody.
He's approaching, Judge. I mean.
Mr. Moody, you have resisting an officer, obstructing without violence. $100 bond. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, Mr. Moody advised me that he's looking forward to having a day in court on reference to this matter. We'd be asking the court to consider an ROR on his
State,
behalf.
what's his priors?
And Judge, I also have a probable cause objection to this
Okay,
case.
fine, no problem, go ahead.
But I would withdraw that objection if the court would release him on his own recognizance.
All right, State?
Your Honor, there's definitely PC. That being said, I don't have an objection to an ROR.
He started to run away from the vehicle.
Yeah, but I don't believe he had an obligation to remain
It's
at
a
the
lawful
vehicle.
investigation. The police can't just have everybody running. When a car's fleeing from law enforcement, they can't just have everyone run out of the vehicle.
All right, I am gonna find probable cause over the defense objection.
Judge, if I could just lay a record for
Sure.
the objection, but again, if the court's gonna ROR the defendant, I'll withdraw the objection. I don't see
Well, I
the-
don't know what I'm gonna do yet, so why don't you,
Just to
Just for
lay the
record
record then,
purposes.
Judge, I don't see the purpose for the traffic stop. I believe that the state of the law is that if it's a traffic stop for a traffic violation, which I don't know that it was or that it wasn't, that the only person that needs to remain at that traffic stop is the driver of the vehicle, and then the passengers are free to leave as they are the ones not being detained. As such, when Mr. Moody allegedly exited the vehicle and ran away from it, and then the officer pursued him, leading to this arrest, I don't believe that the officer was in the lawful execution of a legal duty in pursuing Mr. Moody, as there was no cause for Mr. Moody's continued detention. So that would be my objection.
all right. So over your objection, court still keeps their probable cause. State, does he have any priors?
Your Honor, a resisting without violence in 2013, a resisting without violence in 2013.
All right, I'm gonna ROR him. Is your address 1701 Northwest 34th Ave, Lauderhill?
That's correct, ma'am.
Okay, good luck to you, sir. Show up for court. Scott Allen.
Mr. Allen, come on up, please.
Okay, Mr. Allen, you have trespass property, not structure or conveyance. And if you have a probable cause objection, just chime in.
Not to this case, Judge.
Okay. All right, so court's gonna order no return to 501 Sea Breeze Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale. All right, $25 bond. Court does find probable cause, no return, sir, to the arrest location.
Can't go back there, okay? Wait, hold on. We're not gonna.
Okay,
Judge, and speaking, Mr. Allen, he wishes to resolve this case today.
Your Honor, upon reading the allegations, I don't know that this case isn't necessarily appropriate for Judge Lerner Wren. If he wants an offer, the offer is gonna be jail time. He has a significant amount of trespasses and exposure, sexual organs last year.
does he? Well, then I'm not resolving the case today. So it either goes to Judge Wren or, what's your comment on that? Opposition.
Judge, from what he advised me, he is homeless, he's financially injured, and he can't afford a $25 bond. If the court's not inclined to resolve the matter today, we'd be asking the court to consider an ROR on this nonviolent offense.
All right, what's your position on Judge Wren? What's his priors? Let's get into
From
it, sir.
June of this year, trespass, resisting without violence, trespass last year, exposure last year, trespass, resisting without violence last year, trespass last year, loitering 2016, trespass 2016, trespass 2016, trespass resisting without violence 2016. And Your Honor, just noting that while it doesn't appear he was arrested, it does mention a recent prior incident that was a little more disturbing than, at the same location than this one. It's in the very last sentence, or last couple sentences.
All right, I'm gonna refer this to Judge Wren. Did you see it, Mr. Goldberg?
I've read the PC, yes,
Okay.
Judge.
So he'll go before Judge Wren tomorrow. I'm gonna keep the bond in place. Jorge Cortez Benavides.
Bonded, Judge.
Ronald Jean Walker.
Yes, ma'am. No problem, Don.
Okay, Mr. Walker.
How you doing, ma'am?
Good, how are you, sir? How you feeling? Okay?
Better.
Good, I'm glad. All right, so you have an assault, $100 bond, criminal mischief, between $200 and $1,000, first offense. Court does find probable cause. Bond set at $100. What say you?
Judge, I did not speak with Mr. Walker, but my predecessor did. He's going to be asking the court to release him on his own recognizance, the CRC. He cannot afford the $100 bond. He's a resident of Fort Lauderdale. And that's the information that I see, Judge. My microphone's not on. I'm sorry, Judge. I'll repeat. Judge, Mr. Walker spoke with my predecessor earlier. He's going to be asking the court to ROR him to the CRC. He cannot afford the $100 bond, and he's a Fort Lauderdale resident. I believe that he heard the court discussing the program with another defendant, and he would like to take advantage of the services that they have there as well. I don't have a probable cause objection. And he does not want to resolve it today.
Your Honor, I was going to be requesting a bond increase to $1,000. I'm a bit concerned about these allegations, including but not limited to his statements as to what Mr. Walker thought was going on at the time of this incident regarding other individuals attempting to light, I don't know if it was him or something else, on fire with gasoline. I would just note, direct the court's
He
attention.
said the defendant made comments that multiple unidentified people were attempting to. He was reporting what other people were doing, not that he was alighting people on fire.
I wasn't suggesting that he was. I'm saying that.
Oh, okay.
But it also appears that was,
I understand.
for lack of a better term, delusional. It doesn't appear there's anything to support that. I would note, if I could direct the court's attention to the booking sheet, he has used numerous aliases in the past. I don't know if there are mental health issues here, Your Honor.
Well, Broward Outreach isn't familiar with them, and I could tell you, I don't think the CRC would take him. I could call them up and ask them, but
We'd like to know if he could, Judge.
you wanna call up Miss Gelpy and ask her, and
I don't have the number handy. If you
I
have
can
the
give-
number
hold on,
handy, it's
sir.
okay, Mr. Walker. We'll handle it for right now. I share some of the concerns of the state, but I come to a different conclusion, which are that those concerns would lend itself to Mr. Walker's statement that he is in need of services that hopefully the CRC can provide to him.
And I'm just thinking that he might be in need of services that I think we have a judge that would be better able to determine what he needs and provide.
could take a picture of that for your records, and then I need it
I
back.
have it back at the
Yeah, I know,
in
but
the
you can put it
office.
in your phone if you want. It's up to you.
Thank you. Judge, I'm not, I mean,
I think
do they
this would be
pre-screen?
appropriate.
They'll know in advance whether or not they could even provide services without seeing him in the office?
I think that there was an individual that there was previously that they trespassed, that they didn't want him back. He was very disruptive. I mean, look, nobody wants a disruptive person at their business or
Sure.
someone that,
Sure. So you just want me to ask if there's anything that she's aware of offhand that would preclude his participation with the CRC?
yeah, I mean, if you read her that probable cause affidavit.
Sure. Okay, if I can have a moment, do you want to
So
put it?
why don't we reset him at 1 o'clock, or we
That's
can
fine.
put it off?
That's fine, whatever
All
the
right,
court
let's
wants.
reset at 1, but you can still call her in any event. Okay, so we're gonna reset him to 1. Matthew Geimer.
Judge, Mr. Geimer is up in Paul Ryan.
All right, Paul Ryan. Hello, sir. You have an ad charge, not in custody, juvenile, burglary, dwelling occupied. Court does find probable cause. What say you, state?
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $15,000 bond. He has a no bond hold for carjacking with a firearm.
Sorry, how much?
I request 15, since this involved a dwelling.
Okay, no return to. Can you give me the
I
address?
can, Your Honor. It is 7811 Johnson Street.
Hollywood?
No, Pembroke Pines.
Sorry. And no victim contact. Initials, please.
SB.
SB or V? V as in Victor, B as in Bravo.
Bravo.
Okay, so no return to 7811 Johnson Street, Pembroke Pines. No victim contact, direct or indirect, and maintain a minimum of 1,500 feet from the victim and the residence. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what say you, defense, to the
Judge.
$15,000 bond and any other conditions?
Judge, we would object to the $15,000 bond. I spoke with Mr. Geimer earlier. He is being held no bond on another matter. This appears to be a direct file case as the defendant is 18. He's living at home with his parents in Pembroke Pines. He's lived there for the last 5 years. He himself is not working. So, Judge, in that he's being held no bond, I was going to ask the court to set a reasonable bond, and I don't believe that a $15,000 bond on a burglary of a dwelling would be a reasonable bond. So I would just ask the court to use your discretion and set the bond that Your Honor deems to be appropriate.
All right, no return, sir. Maintain 1,500 feet from the alleged victim and no victim contact, direct or indirect, GPS level 2, $15,000 bond. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is Carlos Ramos.
Conti, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Ramos, good morning, sir. You have an ad charge for possession of cannabis with intent to sell, manufacture, or deliver. $1,000 bond, court finds probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, I would just ask that the bond be kept in place. He's got many other matters pending before the court.
Okay, so $9.99. Thank you. Good luck to you, sir. Next
Thank you.
one is, you're welcome, sir. Have a good day. Angelo Delgado.
Paul Ryan, Your Honor.
Paul Ryan. Hello, Mr. Delgado.
How you doing, Judge?
Good. Thank you for asking. You have a case of KPS felony. You're going before Judge Duffy tomorrow. She has a hearing set for October 10th at 9 a.m. Bond set at $100. Court's going to set the bond at $1. Court finds probable cause. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you,
Next
ma'am.
one is, you're welcome, Jorge Torres.
You can call Your Honor. Paul Ryan also.
Okay, let's reset for tomorrow. Michael Simpkins.
Main jail, Your Honor. I've been advised that he declined the PD.
Okay, Mr. Simpkins.
Come on,
And I provided the court paperwork on this case, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Simpkins, you have the right to have an attorney appointed if you can't afford one, sir. You have some very serious charges. Do you have a private attorney? Do you want to represent yourself? Or do you want to fill out an application? I'll appoint the public defender just for today.
Yeah, I'll fill out application.
All right, that's what I thought. All right, Mr. Romero, you're it.
Yes, Judge, I need 1 moment to speak. to Mr.
Sure.
Simpkins.
Let's go to Paul Ryan. Anybody left? Anybody left at Conti?
Nobody in Paul Ryan, Your Honor.
Anybody at Conti? Okay, anybody, who do we have left at North Broward?
You have inmate Chavez and
All right, let's start.
Vargas.
Okay, let's call Chavez, please. You come down. All right, Mr. Chavez, you have a KPS felony, $1,000 bond for possession of substituted cathinones. Court does find probable cause. This is actually a change of charge. What say you, defense?
Judge, we would just ask the standard bond be left in place.
$9.99. Thank you very much, sir. Good luck to you. Who's next at North Broward, please?
Vargas.
Okay, Vargas. William Vargas DeLeon. Hello, sir. How are you? Okay, Mr. DeLeon, you have trafficking in oxycodone between 7 and 14 grams, $75,000 bond. Count 2 is trafficking cocaine between 28 and 200 grams, $15,000 bond. Count 3 is possession of controlled substance without prescriptions, $1,000 bond. And count 4 is possess and/or use drug paraphernalia, $100 bond. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, this case was reviewed by my predecessor, who I believe spoke with Mr. Vargas as well.
Okay.
I understand that Mr. Vargas is presently homeless. He has lost a leg. I think that's all I'm going to add at this time, Judge.
All right.
Your Honor, if I could just have one moment, Your Honor. And Your Honor, just so you know, what I'm doing, he wasn't in the database, so I have to put his information in manually to get his history.
That's fine. Sir, you're charged with some very serious crimes. You have the right to remain silent. I suggest if you have anything to say, you can talk to me if you want, but I suggest you talk to your attorney, Mr. Goldberg, who's in the courtroom. What say you, Mr. Goldberg? He wants to ask a question or say something. Would you like him to say it, or do you want him to
I
call
would
you?
not. No, Mr. Vargas, you've got some very serious charges, as the judge indicated. We're going to have an attorney come out and see you right away, okay?
Yes, I was kind of wondering about that CRC thing.
You want me to ask I don't think that would be likely or appropriate in this time. We would have to file an appropriate bond motion in division based on the nature of these charges.
I just really do need help, you know, keeping up a lot of it.
Hello.
Okay, we're going to have an attorney come and meet with you shortly, okay, sir?
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience, Your Honor.
Okay, so what's his priors?
Your Honor, 2015, possession of cocaine, possession of controlled substance. He was sentenced to just under 36 months state prison in March of 2016. In 2014, possession of alprazolam, cocaine, controlled substance. He received the same prison sentence to run concurrent. 09, trafficking cocaine, fleeing and eluding, just under 52 months in Florida State Prison. 09, possession of cocaine, just under 52 months, Florida State Prison.
All right, I'm gonna leave the bonds in place. I am gonna change count 4 to $1. I am gonna do a GPS open schedule. No possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons, sir, which you're not allowed to do since you're a convicted felon anyway, but I'll just say it anyway. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
And Judge, we're ready at Maine again.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, who is this, Michael Simpkins?
Simpkins, correct, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Simpkins, you have 2 capious felonies. Let's see.
Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Just to let you know also, I know on your findings in the booking sheet, there's only 2 charges, but looking at the capious,
There's 3.
count 1 was actually upfile from robbery with a weapon or robbery with a deadly weapon. I provided the court paperwork.
Well, on my paperwork, I have counts 3 and 4.
Yes,
So it's an add charge for counts 2 and 3 and a change of charge to count 1.
correct.
So
I was gonna be requesting the court to address the, change.
I understand, but what's confusing is on mine, it doesn't match up. It says 3 and 4.
The reason being is on, where it
No,
says.
no, I know why. So what do you
Okay.
want me to, what 2 are on here?
The two that are on there are the,
What's
possession,
3?
the possession of weapon by convicted felon and the aggravated assault. And either way, the robbery is gonna be,
What is that, number 1 or 2?
it's gonna be number 1, I believe, either way.
So we're missing 2.
2 was, I'll check, but I believe 2 might have been no info.
All right, so sir, let me start again. You have robbery with a deadly weapon, carrying concealed weapon by a convicted felon, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah, two
Probable cause has been previously found. There's been an information filed. What say you, state?
Your Honor, on the upfiled robbery with a deadly weapon, and I provided both the court and defense counsel with a supplemental report, I'm gonna be
Do
requesting.
you see it, Mr. Goldberg?
I've got it, yes, Judge.
I didn't know if you found it in your paperwork over
Thank
there.
you.
Your Honor, I'm gonna be requesting that the court make a finding of proof evident or presumption great, based on both the, victim's testimony, witnesses, and, Mr. Simpkins' own admissions, noting that he allegedly used a, knife with a six-inch blade, held it to the, victim's throat, threatened him. I believe that would satisfy a deadly weapon, both in the actual weapon that was used and in manner of use. As far as the possession of weapon by convicted felon and aggravated assault, I'd be requesting a $5,000 bond on the weapon charge and a $10,000 bond on the aggravated assault. Go to your email.
Okay, what say you as to proof evident presumption grade on the robbery deadly weapon?
Judge, I think it's as to all, my argument would just be to all 3 counts, I guess. Actually, it'll be as 1 and 3, and then 2 would be differently. I think the statement that I see
Well,
here.
just so you know, it's 1, 3, and 4.
1, 3, and 4. I'm just reading off the information 1, 2, and 3, so I guess that corresponds as 1, 3, and 4. Judge, the statement I think that the state is referring to in one of these reports, allegedly made by Mr. Simpkins, was that he had a pencil and not a knife. Obviously, the victim describes the alleged instrument as a knife. It does not look like a knife was recovered from Mr. Simpkins or from the alleged victim. Furthermore, Judge, as to count 2, the carrying, or I guess it would be number 3, but count 2, the carrying a concealed weapon. I don't know where the pencil or the knife was prior to the alleged incident that would constitute either carrying or concealment. So, Judge, I would, based on those arguments, I would object to a finding of probable cause, and I would further object to a finding of PEPG, as I don't believe that there is sufficient evidence before the court to detain him without bond.
And Your Honor, frankly, I was referring to the other admissions Mr. Simpkins made. The reason I believe his self-serving statement about using a pencil is not reliable, and I would note, the victim didn't just say a knife. He gave a description of the knife. He gave a description of the length of the blade, a 6-inch blade, which certainly could not be confused with a pencil.
All right, Mr. Simpkins, I've reviewed the affidavits and the other documents filed in your case, and I find probable cause. I further find the proof of guilt to be evident or the presumption great. Therefore, on the robbery with the deadly weapon, you're going to be held without bond till further order of the court. This order is without prejudice, sir, for you to file a motion to set bond with your assigned division judge and request a hearing under the case of State v. Arthur. What say you, defense, as to the possession of a concealed weapon by a convicted Florida felon and the aggravated assault with a deadly weapon?
Judge, as far as a bond goes, Mr. Simpkins has been in custody now for about 30 days. Prior to him being incarcerated, he was working. He worked for a company selling Persian rugs, which he made about $100 a day. He lives here locally in Fort Lauderdale. From what he advised me, Basically, his financial resources are quite limited. I do understand he's, based on the court right now, on count one, he will be held no bond. I'd ask you to set a reasonable bond as to counts 3 and 4. I'd ask you to consider, set on at about, $1,500 on each count. Also, Mr. Simpkins, in speaking to him, he wants to, face these applications. He's looking forward to his day in court, and he wouldn't object, as far as, being placed on supervision, pretrial release, but he just wants the ability to fight this case from the outside, Judge, so that's why we're requesting that.
State, what's the location of no return, please?
One moment, Your Honor.
No return, sir, to Modern Roofing,
That's located at,
700, I found it,
oh, thank you.
Northwest 7th Avenue, Fort Lauderdale. No contact with the alleged victim in the case, RS. Court is going to do a GPS level 2 on counts 3 and 4. Court's going to do a $5,000 bond, I'm sorry, $2,500 bond on count 3, the possession, carrying concealed weapon by a convicted felon. Court is going to do a $7,500 bond on the ag assault with a deadly weapon, and the robbery is no bond hold. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Okay, we're going to take a fast break. Early? David Early. Mr. Romero. Are you there?
I'm here, Judge.
Hi.
I was just waiting for confinement status to make an announcement since they're the one that removed them from the docket.
David Early, bond surrender felony, $1,000 bond.
Because it was a bond surrender, should have been known from magistrate.
Okay, thank you. Jeffrey Page.
Mr. Page?
Good morning, Mr. Page. You have burglary, unoccupied conveyance, unarmed, resisting an officer, obstruct without violence, no bond required. You do have 2 violations of probation or community control. You are going before your division judge, Judge Barbara McCarthy, tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Court finds probable cause. What say you, State?
Your Honor, I'd be requesting a $3,500 bond, considering that probation.
Okay, defense?
I didn't hear, what was the state's recommendation?
$3,500 bond.
Judge, considering he has a no bond hold on this third-degree felony, I'd be requesting a $1,000 bond.
Okay, $2,500 bond on one, no victim contact with the alleged victim with the initials CAT. That means no contact, direct or indirect, sir. Thank you very much. Good luck to you. Timothy Allen Agner.
Mr. Agner, come on up, please.
Mr. Agner, you have driving while license is suspended, third or subsequent offense. It's a felony. $750 bond. Count 2 is a capious traffic, $500 bond. Count 3 is a capious misdemeanor. Petty theft, $500 bond, total $1,750 bond. Court finds probable cause. What say you, defense? Oh, and he is going tomorrow, I'm sorry, before Judge Robert Diaz at 9 a.m.
Yes, Judge, and speaking of Mr. Agner, he's 52 years old right now. He can't afford to post a monetary bond. And right now, his sister is out of town. She actually went to a funeral, and he has no way of communicating with his sister. He lives locally here in Hollywood. He rents a room. It's about $150 per week. He works in landscaping. He gets paid day, weather permitting, anywhere from $80 to about $150 per day.
What's his
Judge,
mailing address?
Let the judge know your address.
1111 North 29th Avenue, Hollywood, Florida, 33020.
Judge, in reference to count 2 and 3, I realize it's capious. I advised Mr. Agner, he missed court. He said he never received notice. He said he moved, so I believe that probably led to the reason why he didn't know when his court date was. So I'm going to be asking the court to consider releasing him on pretrial release.
All right, well, here's the issue. He failed to appear 2 previous times. One, October 26, 2017, and the other one was February 15th, 2018. Does he want to resolve any of his cases? No?
I
Okay.
just want to advise the court, Mr. Agner's been arrested on 4 previous occasions for failing to appear in court. At 52 years old, I believe he knows, if he hasn't gotten court notice in the mail, he knows how to go about finding out when his court dates are. Considering that he hasn't appeared in court since, on one of these cases, since October of last year.
Judge, in speaking of Mr. Agner, he is interested in resolving one of the counts, specifically count 3, the petty theft.
Already called it, it was private attorney. That's why you don't have it. We gave it to him.
What say you, State? Anything further?
I have nothing further, Your Honor. He wants to resolve which one?
Count 3, the petty theft.
One moment. The offer would be an adjudication, time served, no return to Lowe's at 6600 Dykes Road, I believe, in Southwest Ranches.
Sir, Judge, just to accept the state's offer on count 3.
Sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, it's my understanding through your attorney, Mr. Romero, you want to resolve your petty theft case, case number 16-1235-MM30A?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No, ma'am.
Okay, how do you want to plead to petty theft? Guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
Court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea. Adjudication, time served, $293 in court costs, 6 months to pay. Partial payments accepted. If you don't pay it, sir, they'll suspend your driver's license, give you a $25 late fee, and it will affect your credit. No return, sir, to the Lowe's. You understand? If you go back there, you'll be arrested. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence to the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. I'm changing your address, sir. I'm going to ROR you on the other 2 charges. You do need to go, I believe, before, let me see, MJ. You need to go before Judge Robert Diaz tomorrow in the new courthouse, WW 6165, for your driving while license is suspended charge, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to have the clerk update your address to 1111, that's 4 1s, North 29th Avenue, Hollywood, Florida. 33020. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there an apartment number?
No.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Good luck to you. 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Room number, be there tomorrow, okay?
Michael Marshall. Michael Marshall. Mr. Marshall, you have possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond, count 2, resisting an officer, obstructing without violence. There's no bond required. Court does find probable cause. Bye-bye. Nice seeing you. What say you, defense?
Judge, Mr. Marshall's not going to be able to afford the $1,000 bond. We're going to be asking court to consider pretrial release. Before I proceed, I'll see if the state has an objection.
Pretrial release date? Give me one.
Your Honor, he was released from state prison April 1st of this year. Since then, he picked up a trespass in August. The charges he went to state prison on were resisting with violence, offense against the police dog, and theft. He was sentenced to just under 22 and a half months state prison. He also, in 2016, had a possession of PVP, same prison sentence. In 08, robbery with a firearm or deadly weapon, 5 years state prison. In a separate case in 08, carrying concealed firearm, 5 years state prison.
So what happened with this trespass charge?
He pled them both out.
Has he failed to appear in the last year?
Well, Your Honor, he hasn't, from what I can tell,
All right, when's the last time he's failed to appear?
Your Honor, he just got out of prison in April. He's had 1 arrest and he pled it out at magistrates. He hasn't had a situation where he had to appear in court, but he does have 3 prior failures to appear.
Okay, I'll put him on standard pretrial supervision. He's got to report within 24 hours. Not going to require a bond. Does he want to call in 7 days a week? Or the other option?
Let me explain it.
Let me go off the record for a moment.
His option was 7 days a week, Judge.
All right, so you have to report within 24 hours, call in 7 days a week. You do not have to report once a month, nor do you have to report, no reporting after court if you've seen your division judge. Okay? Good luck to you, sir. Sebastian Sosa.
He's approaching, Judge. He's here on Main.
Okay, Mr. Sosa, you have petty theft first degree between $100 and $300, $100 bond. Count 2 is a probation violation. You are going before your division judge, Judge Dennis Bailey, tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Court finds probable cause. Court is going to order no return, sir, to the target where this occurred, which is located at 16901 Miramar, Florida, Florida. $1 bond on count 1. No return, sir. Thank you. Good luck to you. Next one's going to be Mauricio Perdera.
Judge, he's on. Can you place him on recall?
No problem. Daniel Humphreys. Come on up, sir. Possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is reckless driving, first offense. Count 3, driving while license is suspended. First offense, no bond required. Court does find probable cause. Is your mailing address 9088 Vineyard Lane, Lake Drive, Plantation?
Yes, it is.
Okay, your bond was posted, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is Courtney Howard, please. Courtney
Mr.
Howard.
Howard.
And after that is Daryl Riggins. And then we have Frederick Barbary. Okay, Mr. Howard, good morning, sir. You have resisting an officer, obstructing with violence. We need to talk about bond. Count 2 is dealing in stolen property, $3,500 bond. Count 3 is $3,500 bond, false owner info pawned items, $300 or more. You have a violation of probation where you, actually not for magistrate, where you're released on your own recognizance. You do have a probation violation on counts 5 and 6. You are going before your division judge, I believe it's Judge Michael Usan, tomorrow at 9 a.m. You're going to be held no bond on those two. Court does find probable cause. Okay, what say you, defense?
Judge, we'll be asking for a photo order on Mr. Howard's behalf so we can photograph his injuries, and considering the no bond hold, we'd be asking for $1,000 on count 1.
State?
Your Honor, based on the level of violence alleged, am considering he's on probation, felony probation, one involving a firearm or ammunition. I'm requesting a $2,500 bond on count 1.
Okay, $2,500 bond on count 1. Thank you. The rest of the bonds remain in place. Daryl Riggins, yes?
Judge, Mr. Herger is back.
Okay,
Yes.
yes. Mauricio Perdera. Good morning, sir. You have possession of methamphetamine, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is possess and/or use drug paraphernalia, no bond required. Count 3 and 4 are warrants for violation for pretrial felony. They're actually not for magistrate. You have no bond holds. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense, on count 1?
Judge, considering as a no bond hold, nothing to add at this time.
$9.99 on count 1. Thank you, Daryl Riggins. And after Mr. Riggins is Frederick Barbary. Okay, Mr. Riggins, you have resisting an officer, obstructing without violence, no bond required. Counts 2 and 3 are probation violations. You're going to be held no bond. Count 4 is driving while license is suspended, third or subsequent offense, $750 bond. Counts 5 and 6 are taillights, none, improper or expired tag, less than 6 months, is actually not for magistrates or civil traffic infractions. Court finds probable cause. Court's going to set bond at $1 on count 4. You're going to be held no bond.
Judge, I'm going to be requesting the probation hold no bond is out of date. Would Your Honor consider set a dollar bond in ROR?
Sure, but he's going to have to resolve the case here first. Thank you. Frederick Barbary. Mr. Barbary, you have larceny of credit cards, no bond required. Illegal use of a credit card more than 2 times, less 6 months. Goods less than $100, no bond required. Count 3 is unlawful possession. Personal ID of another, 5 or more, $1,000 bond. Count 4 is petty theft first degree between $100 to $300. The court does find probable cause. The court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials KLP. That means no contact, sir, even through third parties passing messages. What say you, defense?
Judge, in speaking to Mr. Barber, he advised me that his sister will be posting his bond, so nothing to add at this time.
All right, thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Mr. Mulgado, you're next.
Hold on, and the court does find probable cause on Barbary, if I didn't say it. Giovanni Melgado?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. You have disorderly intox, public place causes disturbance. You have corruption by threat, public servant or family, which is a felony. We need to talk about bond. Count 3 is resisting an officer or obstructing without violence. There's no bond required for that. Court does find probable cause. No return, sir, to the Shell gas station located at 5966 Coral Ridge Drive, Coral Springs. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you go back there, you will be arrested. State what's his priors and what do you...
I have to check his priors, but I'm at this time I'm requesting a $2,500 bond. Based on the allegations, it also does not appear he has ties to the community. I mean, I see a homestead address on
I see
the,
Biloxi, Mississippi.
yeah, on the booking, there's the Mississippi address with the homestead address on the arrest affidavit.
Does your client reside in Florida?
No, Judge, he's, resides in Mississippi.
All right, is his address 115 at 115 Adams Avenue, Biloxi, Mississippi?
No, that was my old address, 11262 Creek Drive, Gulfport, Mississippi.
I'm sorry,
Creek, yeah, Creek.
Creek Drive, Gulfport.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's MS? The two-letter code for the state is MS?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the zip code, sir?
39503.
Okay, what say you, defense?
Judge, he gave me the phone number to his fiance. His fiance lives in Mississippi. He's on disability. They're supporting their 3 kids. Judge, my understanding, I believe with the bondsman, if their family is out of state, sometimes they have much higher premium. I'm going to be requesting a $1,000 bond on his behalf. And my understanding, Judge, it's going to be kind of hard for his family to come up with that, but that's what I'm asking, a $1,000 bond on count 2.
And Your Honor, I imagine if there is a higher premium, it is because there's a higher risk of not returning to court. And if he doesn't return to court, higher cost to get them back.
All right, I'm gonna do a $1,000 bond on one. What's his priors?
Your Honor, I'm not getting a complete record from the database. I had to put all the information in. I'm showing prior arrest for resisting, obstructing, aggravated battery out of New Mexico.
All right, I'm gonna put him on standard pretrial supervision as well. He can reside out of state, anywhere. I'll have him call in 2 times a week. He has to report 1 time in person, 24 hours after his release. No reporting in person or after court except the first time.
Yes, ma'am.
So no bond required anymore?
No, $1,000 bond.
Still 1,000?
And that's on count 2, Your Honor?
Yep, count 2. He's on standard pretrial. And the reason is he lives out of state. I'm gonna have the clerk, sir, if you don't show up for court, you're gonna be extradited back here to the state of Florida. You understand?
I'll take care of it, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so they gotta post a $1,000 bond, and after you get out, sir, you have to report to pretrial services, all right? Thank you, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Addison Jones, please.
He's here present, Judge of Maine.
Okay, Mr. Jones, good morning, sir. You have 2 counts of touch or strike battery. $1,000 bond. Count 3 is resisting an officer obstructing with violence. I'm sorry. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact with the alleged victims in the case with the initials RTT and TLR. Court does note it is neighbors. What say you state on count 3 and any other special conditions?
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $1,500 bond on count 3.
Okay.
For a total bond of $3,500 in order of no victim contact. My concern, as you already stated, these are neighbors, so they are going to be in proximity to one another.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, Your Honor, 2012, Mr. Jones was convicted of battery on a law enforcement officer with attempted tampering with evidence. He violated his probation, was sentenced to a year and a day state prison, did a grand theft in 2008 where he violated probation.
mean, I have concern here, based on the facts alleged in the probable cause affidavit. He was just going through the apartment complex, banging on doors, and one of the alleged victims happened to open up the door, and then he charged it his girlfriend, and then what happened at the hospital. What say you, defense?
One moment, Judge. Judge, and speaking of Mr. Jones, he's working, he works part-time in construction. If he manages to have employment that particular day, he can make up to $120 per day. Lives with his mother. His mother is the primary provider of the family who supports Mr. Jones and his younger siblings. From what Mr. Jones advised me, after rent, they're going to be, as far as financially strapped, coming up with any sort of funds to post his monetary bond. So, Judge, might be requesting that the court consider releasing Mr. Jones on pretrial release.
My concern is, are these apartments right next door to one another?
Your Honor, going by,
I'm going to Google Maps.
I mean, just going by the numbers, apartment 7 and apartment 4, I would imagine they have to be pretty close to one another. It's the same building.
Different sides, I
Even
mean,
a
I
different
don't know.
side, I mean, it's,
One's an even and one's an odd, maybe it goes 4, 5, 6, 7. What can he afford in bond? Who does he live with? Is this his apartment or?
Judge, like I said before, Judge, it's his mom's apartment who supports basically him and his younger siblings. As far as it's a single floor apartment building with basically 8 units in it. They're not next door to each other. They're approximately, my understanding, about 25 to 30 feet away from each other, though. So that's kind of the layout of the facility. He does understand he's supposed to have no sort of contact. If he sees the person involved, the alleged victim, he will be walking the other way. But as far as financially speaking, Judge, like I said, his mother's the only person that's going to be able to afford to post his bond, and he believes that she doesn't have much means to financially post the bond. That's why we were asking for pretrial release.
What's his prior state? Did you tell me those?
yes,
I'm
I
sorry.
did. And that's okay, Your Honor. I can go over it again.
If you could, please, I'm sorry.
That's okay. And that was the other concern, Your Honor, especially considering the allegation of the resisting with violence. He, in 2012, was convicted of battery on a law enforcement officer. He violated his probation and was sentenced to a year and a day state prison. He had a grand theft in 08 that he violated probation, but there was an arrest for domestic violence battery in 07 that was dropped.
Okay, I'm gonna keep the bond on count 1 at 1,000, count 2 all ROR, count 3 I am gonna set $1,000 bond. No victim contact. Defendant allowed to reside with his mother. No possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. Additionally, I am gonna put him on standard pretrial supervision on counts 1, 2, and 3. I want him calling in seven days a week, report once a month in person. I do want him to get a psychological evaluation within 10 business days of release. And follow any recommended treatment. So the total is $2,000, or you know what? I'll make it $1,000 bond total. On 1, I'll ROR on 2 and 3. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Kevon Brown.
Conti, Your Honor.
And he has to report within 24 hours of his release. Okay, Mr. Brown, you have.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Brown is in courtroom 6870.
All right, reset for tomorrow. Thank
Judge,
you.
he was actually arraigned. Yeah, that's fine.
Let's just reset him for tomorrow. Thank you, though. We get that all the time. Ernest Merritt.
Conti.
Okay, Mr. Merritt, thank you, sir, for your patience today. Good, thank you for asking. You have threats to specified individuals. This is change of charge from corruption by threat to public servant or family to change of charge to threats to specified individuals. Counts 3 and 5. On the capias, it says domestic violence. This is Judge Cohen.
That's, because
So I guess that's, I don't know, is this still in front of him?
Yes, Your Honor, the top count was is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. It was filed as charged, that's why it's not before the court. If I may, Your Honor?
Okay, is this still a Judge Cohen case?
Yes, it is, but if I may.
All right, so we'll magistrate him.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm gonna have no objection to an ROR. When he had his first appearance, Judge Benson ROR'd him on all counts, released him to pretrial with a GPS level 1, which is still in place on count 1, and because of that, I'm not gonna be asking for any release conditions on these 2 counts.
So per state GPS level 1. So he was at home and they came and arrested him because of a change of charge?
No, he's been in custody this whole time, Your Honor.
Why has he been in custody if he's ROR to GPS level 1?
Maybe they haven't verified an address, Your Honor.
Can you tell me pretrial? Maybe it's something you need, I can't address it in here even though we're doing it, Mr. Goldberg. Maybe it's something your PDs and Judge Cohen's division need to resolve.
And he's scheduled for arraignment on Thursday morning.
All right, so apparently, sir, you stated, and I don't want you responding, I'm just letting you know the reason why you haven't been able to get out is because the place that you told them you wanted to go to, that they don't want, the person said that, who was the person that said he can't reside with them? Can you give me a name?
It's his uncle,
That was my uncle.
Yeah, so,
And right now, it's just like,
that's all right, sir, you don't need to explain, it happens, there's different reasons all the time. So what I can tell you is, Mr. Goldberg, maybe you can reach out and they can find another place.
Judge, I see that Mr. Merritt was declared not indigent on this case. I pulled up his PD application. He put on there an income of $472 a week and debts and liabilities in the amount of $7,000. According to this, he's been incarcerated since September the 8th, Judge, and he remains in custody. Mr. Merritt, are you making that $472 while you've been incarcerated?
No.
Do you have any other income coming in?
No.
Are you still in need of the assistance of counsel? Do you want an attorney, sir?
Yes.
Okay, raise your right hand, do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
All right, sir, your name is Ernest Merritt, Merritt?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Goldberg just asked you a series of questions. Are they, now you're under oath, are they all true?
Yes.
All right,
sorry, Judge,
so I'm gonna appoint the public
Forgive
defender.
me, I should have done that first.
That's all right, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna appoint the
it-
public defender.
Thank you, Judge.
So, Your Honor, is there any kind of way that I can, get out if I can benefit myself, because I only have myself. My mom and my sister died. This the only family
The
I
only thing
have.
I could suggest you do, I can't handle you, I'm telling you, I'm gonna ROR you to GPS level 1 to both charges to here today. So that means you have to have a verifiable address. Mr. Goldberg, maybe you wanna call your client, maybe you wanna try about a rehab or something if he has a drug issue. If he doesn't, and I don't want you responding, sir, maybe there's some other place you can find him to live, because that seems to be what's holding him up.
Judge, I see that he has an arraignment in 2 days before Judge Cohen. I will certainly reach out to the attorneys that are in there, and he can address it with Judge Cohen.
Yeah. Okay? All right, thank you, sir. You're going to Judge Cohen in 2 days. Good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
1. All right, we're done. Thank you very much.